computer. All right, here we are, back from lunch. Excellent. So your assignment was to create your attention grabbers. So now we're going to go around the room and we're going to hear them. All right. So we're going to start with Jeanette because she's in my upper left-hand corner. So let me get my tablet. Where did I move that? Oh, here. Alrighty. I'm ready.
73% of seniors over 65 use the internet compared to 14% just 20 years ago.
Okay, so say that one more time.
73% of seniors over age 65 now use the internet compared to 14% just 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yet 53% of those seniors have smartphones, and a grand majority of them do not utilize all the features.
Okay, so with statistics, we only use one. So I like the second one better than the first one because the first one is like, okay, so what's the problem? Right? Where's the pain? 73% of seniors, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Compared to 14%, that's pretty good. So it doesn't really have that same kind of shock factor that statistics normally have. So
Okay.
Second one, I think that one though works.
Okay, 53% of people over 65 are smartphone owners, yet they underutilize the features.
Okay, I like that one better, but let's make it maybe a little more in layman terms and make it a little bit more exciting. Is it really 53% or is that a made up number or could it be higher? Is that only in the US? Is it worldwide?
That's in the US according to the University of San Diego.
Oh, okay. So so you could say we'll use it. So instead of saying they're underutilized, I would just call it like I is. Don't know a thing about using their phone. You know?
Okay.
Don't know the features, right?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of the word utilize.
Okay.
So try it that way. So 53%.
53% of people over 65 are smartphone users, but they don't know a thing about using all the features.
Okay, to streamline that a little bit more, it is an attention grabber. So 53% of people over 65 have cell phones or have smartphones, but don't know how to use them.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to say features. We could just say we don't know how to use them.
Okay.
Something so in your own words, that's what I want streamlined. You can use mine if you want, but somehow you need that streamlined a little bit.
Okay. All right. All right.
So try that.
Want me to try that again?
Yeah, you look at it and you streamline. I give you an example, but again, and ladies, the reason why it's really important for me not to just dead on give you the word because I could, right? I mean, you know, I'm channeled, I'm experienced, so I could just tell you, but then it's not your own. So I try to guide you like kind of like a direction or a combination of whatever you're saying. Because if I didn't, you wouldn't use it. So I want you to own it. So if you like something I say and you want to own it, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm more like going to guide you to try to, shorten it, but shorten it in your own words, in your own way. Dummy it down by taking out words like you utilize, but do it in your own way so that you'll own it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to kind of not give you the answer. I'm just trying to help you to find your own answer. And then if you need me to give you the answer, believe me, I have it. But it would be my answer, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're on the right track, Jeanette.
Okay.
Okay, now try to shorten it a little bit and dummy it up a little bit.
53% of folks over 65 have smartphones, but a grand percentage of them really don't use it all the way or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but shorter. This is an attention grabber. So shorter. Now he made it even longer.
Okay.
Try it again.
53% of folks over 65 have smartphones, but most of them don't even use it.
All right, or they don't know how to use it.
Pardon?
They don't know how to use it. Because
Okay.
that's where you come in.
Okay.
They don't use them, that means that's a choice. I don't want to use it.
Okay.
Not knowing how to use it, then they need help, and they need your help. That's where
Okay.
you come in.
Okay.
You solve that problem.
Okay.
Okay, so one more time.
53% of folks over 65 have smartphones, but really don't know how to use them.
Perfect. Perfect. That's it. And see, she made it her own, right? And I love the word folks, by the way.
Okay.
That's perfect. That's
All
perfect.
right.
All right, good job. All right,
Thanks.
Karen, you're up.
Well, I created an enrolling statement and I have a statistic. The enrolling statement is, how many of you want to know the main causes of burnout? How many of you not only want to know the main cause, but how to avoid it?
Okay, I hear you, little puppy. Okay,
The statistics is like 76 of employees experience burnout at work. Even scarier, burned out employees are 23% more likely to visit the emergency room.
Ooh, okay, we'll come back to that when your dog isn't barking. I love dogs, but I can't, yeah. Okay, let's go to Michelle.
How many of you want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life well into your 80s and 90s?
Woo,
How many of you not only want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life, you want to look and feel like you do too? That's it.
okay, so let's on the first one, take off the well into the 80s. Okay,
Okay.
because then it leaves the second one flat.
Okay.
But I love the 3 V's. I love that.
Okay.
So let's take it a little step at a time. So how many of you?
Want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life?
Perfect. Okay, so we raise our hand and then repeat it.
How many of you not only want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life, you want to look and feel like you do too?
Yeah, so maybe something else, because
Okay.
you kind of already got that. If we're
Okay.
living it, then I should be looking it too. So what could you add that's even bigger than the living it? How many of you want to live a vibrant, vivacious life? How many of you not only want to live that vital, vivacious life, you want to, bam, right? So what could the bam be? Now, maybe it could just be, instead of how do you want to live it, maybe it could be, how many of you want it? How many of you would like to live a vibrant, vivacious life? How many of you not only would like to live it? See, you almost have nowhere to go.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's, that's the struggle. You said it all. We're like, yeah, but where do we go from here? So maybe that's when we can add your 80. Okay. So how many of you would like to live a vital, vivacious life? How many of you not only want to live that vital, vivacious life, but you want to live it way into your 80s? So that's how we can build. That's how it can be more,
Yeah, you know what? I had that and then I changed it and put it at the very beginning. So yeah, I'll tweak that.
Try that. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Fresh.
Okay. How many of you want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life? And how many of you would like to do that well into your 80s or 90s?
Okay, you're skipping it. Don't shortcutting it.
Oh, I did. Well,
Build.
so add it back in, the vital, vivacious life well into your 80s and 90s.
Okay. You said it right the very first time you started, but now you just cut the second one off at the knees. How many of you not only want to live that vital, vivacious life, you want to live it far into your 80s?
Far into your 80s. Okay.
No, You have the bottom part right. Do you get what I'm saying? You didn't have the build right.
Okay.
So try it again. You have to say the first one again. That's what builds it. And you left that part out.
Oh, okay. How many of you want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life? How many of you not only want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life, you want to live it way into your 80s or 90s?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Perfect. You got it.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Beth, you're up.
Okay. Aging, don't you hate it? I'm talking about turning back the hands of time. Would you? No, I didn't do that right. Let me start over.
That's not an attention grabber.
What?
That's not an attention grabber.
Oh,
Because you're not asking for anything. You're making a statement for us.
well, I said aging, don't you hate it as a question? No?
No.
Okay.
No, because it doesn't get people to step up and go, that's what I want. They're just gonna go,
Okay.
okay, try it again, put it in. If you're gonna ask a question, make it a how many of you questions.
Okay, so I've been working on this from that premise, so now I have to let me say the whole thing, so if there's any meat that we can pull it somewhere.
All right,
Okay.
all right, all right.
Okay. Okay, how many of you hate aging?
Well, now that's a good question.
Okay,
Good.
how many of you hate aging? If you could, would you turn back the hands of time? I'm talking about knocking 20 years off your age. Are you intrigued?
Okay, so no, that doesn't work as an attention grabber.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
not in this, not in the context that we're talking about. So, but let's turn it into one. How many of you hate aging? And how many of you would turn back the clock if you could?
and that's all I have to do.
That's it. It's just an attention grabber. Later on in the meet, you can do some of those kind of type of questions. But if they,
Okay,
oh,
how
right
many of
again.
you hate
How many of you hate aging?
aging?
We all do, right?
Everybody hates. Okay,
How many of you not only hate aging, but you'd love to turn back the time, hands of time if you could?
okay, wait, that's the same premise you just did with Michelle. How many?
It's in your book on page 11 and 12.
I did, I highlighted it and everything. And I didn't get it, so,
Okay, it's okay. You're all learning this. Brand new.
okay. Okay, so how many of you hate aging? How many of you hate aging?
Not only hate aging,
Okay, how many of you not only hate
aging.
aging, but
No buts. Just say you want to turn back time
you want,
or and, but no, we try not to say but.
yes,
That negates everything you said
how
earlier.
many of you
How many
not
of you
only hate aging,
How many
you
of you not
want
hate
to
aging?
turn back the hands of time?
You got it.
Okay,
Say it again all together.
see if I can read my chicken scratch. How many of you hate aging? So how many of you hate aging? No, how many of you not only hate aging, you would turn back the hands of time
If you could.
if you could?
Yes. Now you got the buy-in from everyone, man, woman, right.
Okay,
Good. Good job.
you're amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, I read both of it, highlighted, everything's.
Good.
Okay,
So once you have it, then you can start to put it on this document because this is what you'll use to do your entire speech.
okay,
And that way you don't have to flip through all kinds of papers or the book or whatever. Write notes in the book, but then the actual speech you write on here. Okay, very good. All right. All right, Cheryl, you're up. One thing I love about Cheryl's background, it's her real house. It looks like a virtual, right? It's so pretty. But she got up earlier, and I used to think it was. She got up earlier and went and got a book off that bookshelf. That was amazing, you know?
Oh, that's so funny, Arby. That was the first time you realized it? Because that was today.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a virtual because so many people use them for that kind of depth in that nice house, you know? But really, it's the depth of field.
All I have is a
Yeah.
desktop, and this is the only place where my computer is. It's always been here 1,000 years.
It works. It
Before
works.
virtual world ever with the background existed. So it's like, I don't even know. So I apologize. This is going to be so long, and I think it's way off kilter. I just don't know where to go. Honestly, I either say this or I have nothing. Okay, so it's long. Statistics say that 30 million sperm go to one egg. Only one fertilizes the egg. Then it has to continue in the womb and keep developing. Chances are enormous for non-development, but God says, I want you to exist. Somebody say chosen. God has a divine purpose for every person he created.
Okay, so very good, but that is more meat and not attention grabber. But it's very good. That's the meat. Yeah. So we need the appetizer before we eat the meat. So what is the title again? If ever you get lost, go back to your title. So what is your title?
You have the power to think big, because I'm going for the business people.
Okay, so how many of you want to think bigger? How many of you not only want to think bigger, but you want to blow your mind, right? So
Really, RV? You just reduced it to simplicity like that?
yes, that's all. It's just an attention grabber. We'll get to the meat a little bit later.
How many of you want to think bigger? How many of you want to blow your mind?
Not only want to think bigger, but you want to blow your mind,
Okay,
right? Or something like that, and whatever your words are. But yeah, you want to, I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind. You know, you're so big, right, that you're just explosive. All right, very good. Write that down. All right, Alice, you're next.
How many of you want to be debt free? You gave me this actually. I didn't have to do anything over lunch. How many of you want to be debt free with money growing in your bank forever?
Woo, nice. Okay, put them both together again.
How many of you want to be debt free with money growing in your bank forever?
Okay, so you want to do the building like we did with everybody. So how many of you want to be debt free? How many of you not only want to be debt free, you want money growing in your bank forever? So just a little bit of positioning makes people that didn't get the first question, gets them reiterated so they don't.
How many of you not want to be debt free?
Not only want to be debt free,
Only want to be debt free.
you want money growing in your bank account.
You want money growing. Okay.
Beautiful, good. Everybody needs you, Alice, huh?
Right now,
Yeah.
now that you made it happen.
Yeah, well, I've been debt free for 10 years. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have my house and everything, but credit card debt. I got rid of that. Yeah, took a long time. Now I still have a little credit card debt now, but it's my choice because I bought a new bed and I got 0 interest. And I thought, why should I spend my money when I can get 0 interest? Right? I'm no dummy. So, you know, something like that, but it's a choice.
It feels so good.
Well, when you get up to my age, you almost have to. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have that many years left.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Beth and I are the same age. We're the same age. All right.
I'm going for 120. I don't know about you.
Ah, 120? Wow, okay. Well, I think with all these health experts here, you'll be able to, right?
So we have to change 90s to 120s. Well into your
Yes.
120s.
There you go, there you go.
I should say that. I should say that into your. That doesn't go very well. The 120, like, yeah. Well, anyway,
100. Well into your hundreds. Or
yeah, well into your hundreds.
Okay, excellent. Okay, let's go to, okay, so that's good, Alice. Let's go to Ardina.
Okay. Your special photos are your stories. And if not preserved, they will deteriorate, fade away, and you'll lose those memories forever.
Beautiful. So which one of the techniques did Ardina use?
The last one.
Right, statement of declaration. That's why she can say whatever she wants,
I like
right? Good job. I wouldn't make it any longer though. That's just, you just got by with that one.
that. Okay.
And the way she said it, right? Commanding is very good.
Thank
Okay. See, what happens is when we first start, and you'll see this happen throughout the weekend, you know, the first person, two or three people, they're going to be kind of struggling to figure out, well, what are we trying to do? And after a while, everybody's going to go bing, bang, bing, 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 because you learn from other people that went ahead of you, right? We all learn from people who've gone ahead of us.
Yep.
That's why we have mentors, right? Because we don't want to just figure it all out by ourselves. We want to walk alongside and go, oh, show me the way. Show me where the manholes are and the traps are, and so I can avoid them. So good. So she got it right. Boom. Excellent.
Right,
All right,
thank you.
Luana, you're next.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to show you what, tell you what I did today, and then I'll tell you what I did yesterday in a speech, okay? And you can tell me what you think works best. Are you living in the past? Are you holding on to past memories? Are you looking for a brighter future? That's what I wrote today. Yesterday I said, okay, how did I put that concern? Here to look at it. How many of you want to live a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life?
Okay.
So,
Very cool. See how you got that reaction.
Mm.
All right. So the first one that you did is perfect for video,
mhm,
whether it's 1, 2, or 3, but perfect for video, right in the camera. Are you living a happy life? Right? Perfect for camera.
okay,
Or your speech, the one you used yesterday, but
Mhm.
let's add a second one. You only had one, but you got reaction. See, what we're trying to do is get audience participation, boom, right now, to buy in and pay attention and grab it, right? So that's why you want something that's going to get the arm to raise, as
Okay.
opposed to something where it's intellectual and they're thinking by themselves. That you do on camera.
okay. So the
You know, right.
second one that I did yesterday, that's for video,
No, the one you just told me.
the one that I
What you
wrote
did
today.
yesterday is for speech. The one you
Okay.
did today is for video.
Okay,
Does everybody see that? Right? And see how that works? Yeah. Now you could turn the one for video into a how many of you, but you already had a good how many of you from yesterday. We just need to add a second one.
okay,
What was your first one? Say
All
it
right.
again, the one you did yesterday.
okay. I'll add something else to it.
Yeah, say it.
All right, thank you.
No, I mean, I want you.
Oh, you want me to add something right now?
Yeah, right now. Right now.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Well, let's
Say it
see,
again.
what,
Say it again.
yesterday, okay, I just used that, and then I went into one thing which could help is journaling.
Okay, so we're not gonna give them the answer yet.
Okay.
So what was the question again?
The question was, how many of you want to live a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life?
Okay, so you could do that one and just not do them all together. So how many of you would like to live a happier life? Everybody's gonna go, yeah. How many of you not only want to have a happier life, but you want more fulfilling? Right? So see, we just keep it simple,
Okay.
right? Now, if it was healing, how many of you want to live a happier life? How many of you not only want to live a happier life, but want to heal your, no, that one won't work. Once you get a happy life, it's almost hard to follow because that's the ultimate, you know? Okay. So,
Okay.
so you can break up that first question that had 3 points into 2 points and have 2 questions. Try it again.
Okay. How many of you want to live a healthier life?
Okay, now you're saying healthy. Is that
Yeah,
what the
well,
question-
I was breaking it up. You said once you say happy, nothing else could follow. So,
Almost, right? I mean,
so I was switching it around.
well, we could still say happy life and then living our full potential
Okay.
or
Uh,
living on purpose.
all right. So how many of you want to live a happier life? How many of you not only want to live a happier life, but a healthier and more fulfilling life?
Okay. All right. Healthier, more fulfilling life. Perfect.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go with that. And again, ladies, you're gonna probably tweak a thing here or two. Just keep with the system. That's all I ask you to do. Stay with the formula. All right. Don't put it out of place. There's a reason everything is step by step in where it's at. And it's all to bring you clients and money and help people. Okay, so very good, everyone. Everyone's good and complete on that. Excellent.
Oh, you were going to go back to me.
Come back to Karen. Thank you.
Okay, so I did an enrolling question and a
Oh,
statistic.
that's right.
So the enrolling question, how many of you want to know the causes of burnout? How many of you not only want to know the cause, you want to know how to avoid it?
Yeah.
Okay, and the statistic, 76 of employees experience burnout at work. Even scarier, burnt out employees are 23% more likely to visit the emergency room.
Yeah, good statistics. Hold on just a minute. I got a gardener here. Hold on. Okay, look good. Looks good. What? Perfect. Perfecto. Yeah, love it. Thank you. Perfecto. Okay. Okay. I'm wondering if you could do something a little more exciting because both of those, instead of getting me excited, make me feel heavy. Anybody else with me?
Mhm.
I just feel heavy. So a little bit more exciting. Again, you could talk, we know in your title, it's all about burnout and how to avoid it. But what would be for a nurse? What would be the opposite of burnout?
More energy, increased vitality.
True. But what if it was like nurses get into nursing, and I'm not a nurse, so you nurses correct me if I'm wrong, but they get into nursing, the ones I've worked with and know, because they want to help people. They have such big hearts, they're nurturing people. But what happens, it's like anything in life, they get beaten down and beaten down and beaten down and beaten down, and they don't feel fulfilled or like they're doing anything good again. They just feel like used and abused, right? Nurses are abused. Are you right, nurses? Taking
Yeah.
advantage of hard work, right? With very little appreciation. That sounds like all jobs, right? So what if it's, what if it's something positive, like how, again, you're talking to nurses mostly, right?
Mhm.
So what could you say to get them jazzed? I'm thinking something like, how many of you would love your job again? Maybe it's not job, but how many of you love nursing? I mean, most people are, how many of you, something like revitalize the reason they got into the whole nursing field. Now use yourself as an example, Karen. What would make you feel good? I mean, it's not like somebody coming out and saying, hey, I know you're burned out and you want to avoid it. Honey, it's too late for me to avoid it. I've been burned out for years, right? I've been a nursing 30 years. So it might not be what's going to excite them, but to fall in love again, that's it. How many of you would like to fall in love with nursing again? Right? Something like that.
Yeah.
How many of you not only want to fall in love with nursing, but you want to stay in love?
Or even fall in love with their life, because like most nurses, they're just work, 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 that they forget dreaming or living a fulfilled, I want them to live a fulfilled life, to start dreaming again. So
Okay, then add, yeah, do something like that. How many of you want to start dreaming again? How many of you not only want to start dreaming, but you just want to picture your perfect life and the perfect career? I mean, you could go off there. You don't have to say nursing. You don't have to say burnout. That's already in your title, and we know it's going to be in your meat that you do.
okay.
But
Oh, good to know, because I thought I had to put the burnout in my attention
do
grabber.
not. No. First, we grab their attention. Then we got it, and then we can deliver the goods and the teachings or the education. But we
Oh,
want them to feel good too, or total like they got to stop the pain because you know, if they were young nurses, you could say something like, the statistical statement. 98.5% of all nurses have experienced burnout. How would you like to know how to avoid that? But that would be for younger nurses. But nurses like yourself that have been around for 30 years, you've been in and out of burnout.
yeah.
Right? Okay, Beth.
I just can't, this popped into my head, and that nurses feel used up,
Yes.
and you're trying to fill them up. To show them how
Yes.
to get filled up again.
I like that.
Used up versus filled up.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
see
like
if-
I'll work on it, like maybe on our short break later, but I'm getting where
Okay,
we
you're
want
getting
to
it.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are on, so good job, everyone. We are on page 13. Now, 13, the second step is the welcome. Now, the welcome is not, we don't say welcome, welcome, right? It's not our group, or even if it is, we don't say it in our speech, but it's to make, we're in rapport, so it's to make them feel welcome. So you've just made a big statement, whether it's a statement or question, so we need to respond. So when we say something like, how many of you want to dream bigger, right? How many of you not only want to dream big, but you want to blow your mind? We've got to, and they're raising their hands going, me, then we've got to acknowledge them. That's how we welcome them and make them feel good. So we say, whatever your word is, great, fabulous, because for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can become a bigger speaker. And then now what we want to do is kind of like work our title, paraphrase our title. Because the title was the promise of what we're going to give them. Because today I'm going to teach you how you can think bigger than you ever thought possible. So it can be a paraphrase. It doesn't have to be word for word. So the welcome consists of your word. It consists of the time that you're going to speak. And the reason why we do that in rapport is because people don't know if you're going to speak for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30. The host told you how much speaking time you have, but nobody else knows. So when we know as an audience, we can kind of prepare ourselves. Okay, it's going to be an hour. Okay, it's going to be 30 minutes. Okay, it's going to be 5 minutes. Otherwise, we're like, 5 minutes, what happened? So we prepare our audience. That's how we love on them. We tell them what's happening. Okay, so the welcome word, your time that you're going to speak, and then what you're going to, again, deliver, but like your title, but paraphrase. Okay, got it? All right. So who wants to take a stab at it first? We're just doing the welcome. It should be easy for you, nothing too hard for you to write down. All right, so let me demonstrate. Michelle, what is your question again?
How many of you want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life? How many of you not only want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life, you want to live it well into your hundreds?
I was just say 80s and 90s.
Okay.
I just did, yeah. Okay. What to say 90s? Either one. Okay, so now what's your word? I just
Yeah.
raised my hand. I said yes. What's your
Yeah. Fabulous, wonderful. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to break the code on aging well to live your best life.
Beautiful. That was perfect. Yay. That was perfect. That's exactly how easy it is. Okay, perfect. All right, who wants to go next? It's just that easy. She did it on the, on the fly. You don't have to write it all down. You know what it is.
So Arby, I'm confused as to, since I'm doing a statement, what would I say to welcome?
Okay, so for statements, you can say your statement.
Okay, your special photos are your stories. And if not preserved, they will deteriorate, fade away, and you'll lose those memories forever.
That's right. So for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can preserve that photo and even turn it into a legacy.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay.
That's right.
Turn it into a what?
What'd you say, Cheryl?
Turn it into a what?
A legacy. Yeah. So yeah, whatever, it's whatever naturally will come, come out. Okay, next. So good, Ardina, next. Everybody's gonna go so quickly. We got a lot to do. Beth, you look like you're ready.
Okay. My word, super wonderful. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to look and feel and live your best at any age.
Perfect, beautiful. All right, Cheryl, what's yours?
How many of you want to think bigger? And not only think bigger, but blow your mind. In the next 30 minutes, I am going to show you how it takes just as much energy to think big as it does to think small. So become a successful person. To become successful, think big.
Okay, so what is your word? We just need perfect, but we just need to add the word. So after the thinking grabber and before the 30 minutes, what's your word?
It was think big.
No. The word is like great or fabulous. You're acknowledging your audience. So how many of you want to think big? How many of you not only want to think big, you want to blow your mind? And we've all rose our hands, right? So say great.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
For the next 30 minutes, right? And then you could go on.
Got it.
Because everybody has a different word. Everybody like what? Beth was what? Super fantastic or something like that. You might have somebody I know, combined words like fantabulous. It was fantastic and fabulous together. Fantabulous. So what is your word?
So I'll just say awesome.
Awesome. Right. Perfect. All right. Karen, did you have your hand up? You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Well, here's my enrolling question. How many of you want to feel rejuvenated? How many of you not only want to feel rejuvenated, you also want a fulfilling life?
They just don't go together.
No.
Not quite.
Okay.
Rejuvenated, I think, is good for the topic of burnout. At first, I thought I was going to go to a spa, though,
Oh.
and get a facial or something. But
so should I just stay with the increased vitality, increased energy? How many of you want to feel?
Okay, so nurses in the room, right? And we've got Michelle, and we've got Beth, and we've Karen yourself. When it comes to think about, not now, because each of you have your own businesses now, but think back when you're in ER or when you're, working, unappreciated, right? Because patients can get cranky, right? They don't feel good. You're dealing with people who don't feel good and they're not at their best, right? They're laying there naked, right? And you're playing nice and they're not eating what they want to eat. And so they're just cranky. What do you want? What would make you feel better again about nursing? Because you got into nursing for a reason, but it didn't end up being the reason sometimes, right? Right? So you get in because you want to solve people's problems, you want to save their lives, and yet you're changing bed pans and listen to some cranky old man. You see what I'm saying? So what do you want now to rejuvenate yourself, to love nursing again and know that you're really doing a good job?
I do like when you said earlier, like how many of you want to fall in love with nursing again? But at the same time, like I want to dream bigger, like, in my life too, not just nursing. I don't know what we'll
Okay,
do.
well, you could do a couple things. You could say, how many of you want to fall in love with nursing? How many of you not only want to fall in love with nursing, but you want to go beyond nursing? Right?
Mhm.
You want to love there's life after nursing, that kind of thing. Or you could say, how many of you love nursing? How many of you want to go? Well, not love, because we're talking to people with burnout, they may not raise their hand. How many of you want to fall in love with nursing again? Or how many of you not only want to fall in love with nursing, but you want to go beyond it? See, they almost don't match up. How many of you want to go beyond nursing? How many of you want to go to the next level of nursing? You could do something like that. How many of you want to fall in love with nursing? How many of you not only want to fall in love with nursing, but you want to go to the next level? Or you want to go beyond it? Or you want to, come on, other nurses, what do you think, Michelle?
I'm trying to understand a little bit. Are you focusing on burnout so that they want to go, like they want to go back, be able to go back into nursing and have that fulfillment again? Or are you, they're burnout and you're going to help them do something different other than what they're currently doing? Because that's two different.
That's a good question.
Well, like I don't really care. Like the result that I like is for them to start dreaming again or to have a more fulfilling life, whether they choose to stay in nursing or get out of nursing.
Okay, so that's why we have the confusion. You need to decide, because that's your coaching. That's your coaching you're going to provide, either stay in or get out. Right? So you need to decide. Those are two different targets.
Well, because like me, I don't really want to leave nursing. Like I'm happy doing both, but like I find fulfillment outside of nursing.
Okay.
You don't feel fulfilled when you're doing the nursing piece? Or
I do. So
you do. See?
She wants to.
I can have, like, why choose when I could have both? So.
Okay, so then maybe your topic isn't really burnout. Maybe your topic is more fulfillment. Maybe it's the burnout that's causing you the confusion, because it sounds like, just from what you said, you're not really burned out. You don't get all fulfilled, but then you do get fulfilled. But then there's more fulfillment. And, so maybe it's really helping nurses to get the most fulfillment that they possibly can out of nursing.
So is it more work-life balance? Is that what the path you're going down?
And I wanted to add, being a nurse, you also want to enjoy your life.
Yes.
Balance, but you want both.
How about life beyond nursing or life after nursing?
Or life
with nursing.
while nursing.
Or while nursing.
While nursing.
Yeah.
But then it sounds like you're nursing a baby.
Yeah, well, just the idea.
And that could be very fulfilling.
Well, like, because another thing that I do, I'm also a Gallup certified strengths coach. Like for me, is to help them discover their natural gifts and talents so they can maximize and live a fulfilling life.
So why aren't you talking more about that then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, you've got some good words there, maximize and have a more fulfilling life. How many of you would like to maximize and have a more fulfilling life? Right? How many of you not only want to maximize your life or have a more fulfilling life, but you want to, you know, go beyond whatever you
I think that's what more I'm passionate about. Like I know that their pain point right now is stress, overwhelm, and burnout. But really, I want them to discover their strengths because 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to discover my top core values and top 5 strengths. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's why I enjoy my nursing now, because I get to use my strengths. And then at the same time, I get to use it in my coaching too. So like our strengths doesn't really matter what profession we have, but to be able to use it and maximize it so we could have a fulfilling life.
So maybe your topic is more about how to discover your core strengths so that you can live a more fulfilling life.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
And that's for everybody, whether you're nursing or not. We all
Uh-huh.
have that. And what's great about that, Karen, is I've heard of core strengths and weaknesses and SWOTs in corporate America. But out in this world, you don't hear too many entrepreneurs talking about core strengths.
Yes.
So
And
you bring something new to the table that we don't hear every single day for even
okay.
entrepreneurs. So if you're a coach, you know, you are a trained coach, so you're not limited to nurses. It's just that's your background. You can speak their language.
Yes.
But core strengths, helping people find their core strengths, you could do that for anybody and everybody.
And we noticed that you lit up when you talked about that.
There you
That's
go.
what you're passionate about. So that's what that would be more important.
Yeah, but thank you, ladies, for that. Because like it's true, I'm so passionate. Like I've been doing like pro bono debrief and coaching friends, family that are nurses. And when they discover their strengths, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's why I'm doing teaching, because it's their strength. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I wonder how many nurses there don't even know their core values and their core strengths, and they're stuck in a job position that they're not meant to be there. So, you know,
Or they're not enjoying anymore.
they're not enjoying.
Yeah. And so, you know, how do you help them stay in nursing, but be able to use it with their core strengths and really be able to fly?
Yes. 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 Okay.
Okay, so
I'll work
you work on that.
Yes, I'll work on.
And we'll come back to you. So everybody, we still have more. Okay, so Alex, I think you. So we're
Great.
doing the welcome.
Yes, great. I like the word great.
Yeah, me too.
For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to get inner financial peace.
Beautiful. Perfect. All right. Luana, you're next.
I'm going to use the word great too, since I tend to use it a lot. Great. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can have, oh, shoot, I tried to memorize it. Never mind, forget to memorize it. Great. For the next 30 minutes, I am going to share with you how you can set yourself free through journaling, or if I'm teaching on healing, heal yourself through journaling.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Mhm.
All right, Jeanette, you're up.
No problem. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give you tips and empower you in using senior technology.
Okay, so do your attention grabber. Let's make sure it works with no problem.
53% of folks over 65 own smartphones, but really don't know how to use them. No problem. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give you tips and empower you in using senior technology.
Okay, perfect. That works. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cheryl, did you go yet? Yes, you went.
You know what? I want to just ask you about one sentence in it. It was about the think bigger stuff. Would it be okay to start off with, how many big thinkers do I have today? How many of you want to be a big thinker? And not only be a big thinker, but blow your mind. So
Okay, so no, right, see the Michelle's in, no, because see, you're in a group of people, your objective, right, for all of us is to get this to raise their hand. A
Mhm,
lot of people don't look at themselves as big thinkers. And
mhm.
even if they did, they have to think and ponder that question for a while. You don't have time with an attention grabber. So just how many of you want to be a big, that's automatic, fast, right? Yeah, we all do. We all want to be big. How many of you not only want to be a big thinker, but you want to blow your mind? Yeah, right? That's what you're trying to do, ladies, is to get some action going. So don't overthink this.
Yes, because if
don't
I was in the audience,
don't
I would be,
overthink
and
it.
I didn't think of myself as a big thinker, I'd be sitting there looking around to see who else is raising their hand. On the other hand, if I am a big thinker, I don't want people to think I got a swell head.
Good point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good point. Good. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could happen, but you're in rapport and you're seconds in. So you don't want any of that mind going on of other people or look at, you don't want that. You want their eyes on you. You just want their hands raised, full attention, full board with you in that second. Later on, if you want to say something like that, like in the meet, we can put anything you want. So if in the meet, after you build rapport, you go, you know what? How many of you are already big thinkers here, right? You can do something like that, but not in rapport. Yes. All right. So did everybody go? And we're coming back to Karen. Ardina, did you went, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't finish it though, RV.
Okay.
You kind of added it on.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going out to the attention grabber.
No, just the welcome.
Okay, so that's right. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to preserve your memories so you can continue to tell your stories.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
I like that.
Nice.
Thank you.
One more time.
One more time.
Because because I really like what you do. And I would love for you to be able to concisely say what you do, because people would be bringing their business to you. That's very important. I know it's so important to me, but if I don't know exactly what you do, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you very hard. So I want yours to speak very clearly for people.
Okay, so for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to preserve your memories so you can continue telling your stories.
Beautiful.
Resonate?
Yep.
Beautiful.
There
All
we
right,
go.
one last time, Karen, and then we have to move on.
Okay.
Let's try just the welcome.
So like, how many of you want to discover and maximize your strengths? How many of you not only want to discover and maximize your strengths, you want a fulfilling life? Something to that line.
Okay, we still need to work on that.
But like, it's gonna be great. Like the next 30 minutes, I'll be sharing with you. I had to change my title, like how to maximize your strengths and live a fulfilling life.
Right, that'll work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so instead of how many of you want to maximize your core strengths for a fulfilling life, that's like telling them the how-to. Just how many of you want a more fulfilling life? Period. How many of you not only want a more fulfilling life, you want to, and again, whatever the ultimate is, just like with Cheryl, it was blowing your mind, right? Not only think big, because we're talking ahead, but blow your mind. Expand your mind. We could say expand instead of blow if you wanted to, and expand your mind. Right? That might be.
Yeah, I like that better.
I like that.
So, so that kind of thing. So don't put maximize in it. Don't put, this core strength. That's what you're going to do. That's your answer, the solution. So how many of you want a more fulfilling life? And how many of you not only want a more fulfilling life, you want what? The most ultimate life possible. You want the dream life. You want you want to live your fullest potential. You want to live,
Purpose-driven life or no?
right?
Purpose-driven life, like you want, how many of you want a more fulfilling life? How many of you not only want a more fulfilling life, but a purpose-driven life?
You could do that.
Okay.
Or a life with more purpose.
Or
You say purpose driven, I'm thinking of that famous guy's book, Purpose Driven, right? By what's his name? The
Warren,
Rick Warren.
Rick Warren.
right.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to be careful. Sometimes people that have gone before us have already kind of got a market on some combination of words. So I would say instead of purpose driven, a life of purpose or a life on purpose or something a little more generic. So that, because in the very first 3 seconds, you don't want people thinking of somebody else. That's why I say never start out with a quote, right? If I started out and said, Tony Robbins said, good isn't good enough, you have to be great. Who are you thinking about? Tony Robbins and not me, right? So we want to be careful when we use somebody else's language, especially in the first few seconds. In the meat, I could quote anybody I wanted and it's okay because I've already built rapport.
Okay.
All right, so let's go with that for now. As you go through this, you'll tighten it up. It'll get better and better. You'll get some more ideas, just like I said, blow your mind before, and then I thought of expand your mind. So things like that will come up as we all work together. Okay, everybody win, everybody's good. Okay, we're gonna add the next step, and then we're gonna put all 3 steps together. All right, so the next step is easy breezy, and it's just a thank you. Now, we're gonna thank 2 people here. We're gonna thank the audience for their love, their attention, their time, whatever you want to thank them for. Now, most people thank their audience when, I'm sorry, my garden was here, but he'll be done in a minute. When do most speakers thank their audience?
At the end of the speech.
That's right, Luana, at the end. It's too late.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to thank them in the beginning. That's how you build rapport. That's how you get them to listen to you, to love you, to trust you. So we want to thank them. And this isn't something we write down. This is something I want you to feel when you're there present. And it's just something really short. Just, first I just want to thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking the time, the energy to be here. And that's it, right? Then I want to thank the host or the president of the organization, whoever that is, right? I want to thank the president, Day1of Parker, for inviting me here to speak with you today. Let's give her a big hand, right? Because everybody loves their president, their leader. So when you honor them, that person, you're honoring the entire audience. So always, always honor the person that invited you. Or a lot of people, what they say is, thank you, Day1of Parker, for creating the space at which we could all gather, right? We've heard it. People have done it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just do whatever your words are, authentic to you, whatever you feel in that moment. Sometimes it'll be more gooey than other times, right? Depending how you feel. Sometimes you're just like overwhelmed with the love in the room. And sometimes you're just going, thanks a lot. Now, remember, you're not thanking them to come to hear you speak. That makes it about you and you're in rapport. So that's not the thank you. Thank you for coming to hear me speak. Right? Some people do, right? Like Jeanette is here in this room because she specifically went to an event a month ago specifically to hear me speak. But she told me that afterwards. But that's not how I thank the audience, right, Jeanette? I say thank you for hearing me speak. Just, thank you for being here. I mean, I was so excited because, and I told her my first live event. I've even got my spank on today, right? I was so excited. People, so whatever comes up for you, right, in that moment. But I was just so thrilled. There was only 12 ladies there, but there, to me, it was like 100 ladies because
Aw,
they were live ladies, and so
yeah.
just, I was just overcome with just excitement and joy, right, Jeanette?
Yes, very much.
Oh,
And it spread to us.
oh, good, good.
Your energy, was just instant. It was
Oh,
great.
good. Yeah, I was just so excited. And so then again, thank the host and you're done. All right, so let's quickly do that. And then we're going to put all three together from tension grabber to the welcome to the thank you. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, Karen, let's go first.
Attention.
Okay, why don't we go to somebody else? You're still working. Okay, all right, let's go to Cheryl. I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen and work up. Cheryl. You're muted.
I apologize. I'm not ready.
Okay, Ardina, I know you're ready.
From the attention grabber, right?
All three steps that we just did, all together, putting it all together, we're creating that speech.
Okay. Your special stories, I'm sorry, wrong. Your special photos are your stories. And if not preserved, they will deteriorate, fade away, and you'll lose those memories forever. That's right. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to preserve your memories so you can continue to share your stories.
Beautiful.
Now, I'd like to thank you ladies for coming today. And I especially want to thank R.B. Robinson for inviting me. Oh, I forgot the last one.
Let's give her a big hand.
Is that it? I thought it was one more thing.
Well, you did the attention grabber, then you're welcome. Great.
Okay.
Remember you said that's right. That's your welcome for the next 30 minutes.
Right, on the thank you, though I'm thanking everyone that's there. I'm
And then
thanking,
the host.
and then the host, and that's it?
That's it.
Oh, okay,
You did it perfect.
thank you.
Okay, who wants to go next? Who's ready? All right, Alice.
How many of you want to be debt free? How many of you not only want to be debt free, but you also want money growing in the bank? Great. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to get inner financial peace. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to me today. And thank you, R.V. Robinson, for inviting me here.
Okay, good. Now, is there another way you could say it instead of listening to me? Because that's like that example I was saying earlier. You're in rapport, so you don't want to make it about you and say, thank you for coming to hear me speak. It's the same thing as thanks for coming to listen to me. So could you say it a different way? Can you thank us a different way? Do you see the difference, ladies, between you came to hear me speak and thank you?
Yeah, it's me. It's about me.
Right.
Then, yeah.
Right. So right now, we don't want to make it about you. You're going to get your chance to tell your story in a little bit. But
Okay.
how could you turn that around to make it more about your audience?
Thank you for taking time to, I don't want to use learn because learn about financial. I don't want to use peace again.
You could just make it easy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, your energy for being here. Thank you for whatever it took you to get here. Right? I mean, everybody that goes in a physical event or even a virtual has done something to get there. They either left their home or office to drive there, or they left their work to be there. And with Zoom nowadays, there's so many competing events, right? There's probably 50 events you could have gone to today online.
I like thank you for being here. It's
Yeah.
short and it
Sure.
reaches across all lines. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
Thank you for being here.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's all we have to say. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out. I was just saying, don't write it out if you can help it, because if you want to be in that moment.
Right. Thank you for being here. And thank you, R.V. Robinson, for inviting me here.
You're welcome. My pleasure. See how it makes us all feel? Yeah, my pleasure. And that's what you want. See, what you're feeling in this room is what other people are going to feel when you speak. We're a sample audience. Did everybody feel good when she said that? Yeah. Something that simple still can make us feel great. All right, great. Who's next? Good job, Alice. Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
I'll go.
All right, Beth. I was going to say, do I need to pick?
Okay. So how many of you hate aging? How many of you not only hate aging, you would turn back the hands of time if you could? Super wonderful. Wouldn't it be super wonderful? For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to look, feel, and live your best life at any age. And I want to thank you for your time and your energy to be here today. I appreciate you and I love seeing your faces. I also want to thank R.V. Robinson for her invitation and support.
Good, good. Let's give her a big hand. Woo. Again, anytime we can get our audience to do something, the better. Or if you're in Zoom, you can, say, let's give her some, or him or her, let's give her some Zoom love.
Okay. This is really where you get the most nervous, this beginning part, and to have it all worked out is just incredible. I mean, I just feel that letdown. I'm ready to roll now.
And like you said, Beth, that's where we get nervous. But guess what? This is where she gives us permission to memorize.
Yeah.
By heart.
The attention grabber, right? And the welcome. The thank you, again, keep it simple or just be in the moment, be free to, say whatever you need to say. So beautiful, good job. All right, who's next?
Oh, I'll go.
Okay, all right.
Okay. How many of you want to live a happier life? How many of you want to not only live a happier life, but a healthier and more fulfilled life? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I just went totally blank. Great. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can set yourself free through journaling. Thank you for being here with me today. Oh, sorry. Thank you for being here today. And thank you, R.V., for inviting me. And if I was standing in front of a live audience, I would actually turn towards you and say thank you and start clapping.
Amen. Okay, so let's go back for a minute because I felt like it wasn't as smooth.
I know, I was trying to remember everything.
That's okay. You can write it down and read it right now. Right. So be careful with the healthier, because if we say health for you, then I'm gonna have trouble differentiating you from the health experts here. Right? So if we said, okay, how many of you want a happier life? How many of you not only want a happier life, you want a more fulfilled life? Right? Simple. Keep the health out of that because it kind of felt rough there. And then great, because today, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can have a happier and
more fulfilled
life through journaling. And then you get it right out there. Because otherwise there's a disconnect. I'm like, wait a minute, you're talking about a healthier, happier life potential, and then you're talking about journaling? What? I missed something. But that's
Okay.
how you can tie it together. I'm going to show you how you can have a happier life and live to your full potential through journaling, right? So it's like a secret through journaling, right?
Right.
You can expect, unless, but we did, we did read your email and you said, get free through journaling or whatever your title is. Yeah.
Well, I can always tweak the title.
I think what was your title? I think you had a good title there.
It was set yourself free through journaling.
Yeah.
And that's what I inserted in there when I did that. I had for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can set yourself free through journaling.
You can do that too, but we have to tie it into the attention grabber. And since your attention grabber didn't say how many of you want to be free or have more freedom and it's live a potential life, then we paraphrase our title to match and work its way in. So it's there's a connection.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Ready?
So I would add that. You could say, and set yourself free through journaling. So I'm gonna show for the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna teach you how you can have a more fulfilled life and set yourself free with journaling. So just tie it in, that's all I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Tie the two together. Okay.
Thank
Great.
you.
Who's next?
I'll go.
Yay, Jeanette.
53% of folks over 65 have smartphones, but really don't know how to use them. No problem. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give you some tips and empower you in using senior technology. Thank you for your curiosity and your willingness to learn. And thank you, RV Robinson, for inviting me today.
Beautiful. So she just made that thank you her own. Thank you for your curiosity today. Okay, so she, didn't have to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being curious and being here, right? Very good.
It's a good word.
Yeah, very good. Now, I was a little confused by the senior technology.
I know.
Yeah, you said senior technology. It's not senior technology, which
It's
would be
technology in general.
It's tech for
technology.
seniors.
It's technology.
Oh, okay. Empower you in using technology for seniors.
Yeah, it's technology for seniors, but it's not senior technology.
Okay, you're right. Okay, great. I'm going to give you tips and empower you in using technology for seniors.
Okay, now,
With
is
seniors.
it just tips or is it something bigger than tips?
Well, I'm going to give them 5 ways to use technology differently, or 10 ways to use technology differently than they're doing. So I'm not sure how to say it.
Was it tips? Is it techniques?
Oh,
Ways?
okay, I see.
So tips just is something small,
Okay, okay,
but let's see how we can make it a little bit bigger with technique,
okay,
strategy,
all right.
ways. There's a lot of principles. There's a lot of other ways you can,
Okay, all right, let me work on that then.
that might make it sound a little bit bigger than just a couple of tips. I think
Okay.
that seniors really want to learn how to use it. They don't just want to tip.
Yes, okay, okay,
Okay, good.
all right.
Very good. All right, next. Cheryl,
Okay.
was that your daughter?
Yes.
We should have said hello.
Oh, she would have loved that. She's out of school now, so she gets relaxed after she's out of school. She just finished the afternoon session, so she gets nice and comfy.
Good.
Let's see. Why am I so? Oh, let's see. So the title.
Attention
the
grabber
power.
first. Attention grabber.
Oh yeah, okay. Starting there. Okay. How many of you want to think bigger? Not only think bigger, but really expand your mind. Awesome. Well, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to think big. And I want to thank you ladies for your time and your energy being here. And I really want to thank you, Arvi, for being our illustrious master speaker trainer on this journey.
All right, let's give her a hand. High five, high five, high five, high five. Okay, good job. All right, next. All you ladies are doing excellent. Who's next? We got what, Michelle still
I could go.
to
Yeah.
go, and Karen to go. Okay, Michelle, go ahead.
Okay. How many of you want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life? How many of you not only want to live a vital, vibrant, and vivacious life, you want to live it well into your 90s?
Very good, very good. Yes, very good.
Wonderful. For the next 90 minutes, it might take me 90, but I only have 30, so I'll cut it short. For the next 30 minutes, I am going to help you and teach you how to break the code on aging well so you can live your best life. But first, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. And I especially want to thank your president, Arvi Robinson, for inviting me. So please join me in giving her a thunderous applause.
A thunderous applause. I love that. Great job, Michelle. Great job. And again, you got the right idea. That 30 will change if you have less time or more time to talk. That's the only change you're going to make, and then cut out some of the meat, which we're going to talk about tomorrow when we do the meat. But you got the right idea. So if you have 8 minutes, that becomes 8 minutes, right? 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You got it right. I love that. Good job, Michelle. Good job. All right, Beth, are you ready? Beth,
I did mine.
you did yours. Who? I know Karen's left. Is that the only one?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Karen.
Here's my enrolling question. How many of you want to start doing more of what you love? How many of you not only want to start doing what more you love, but live a more fulfilling life based on your terms?
I love it. I love the
Yes.
change. That's better.
Much
Go
better.
together.
Great. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share how to maximize your strengths and live a more fulfilling life. But first, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here. And I also want to thank Arvi Robinson for inviting me to, Arvi Robinson for hosting this and inviting me to be here.
That's fine. Good job. Wow, good job. That was a great recovery. My goodness, excellent. So you got it. Sometimes, we just got to work the system a little bit until we find our, find our place. So very good. Okay. All right. So we're going to go now to the next step. So we are on page. Okay. Now we are on page 14, ladies. 14. And we're getting ready to do our story. So we're going to do one summary. Then we're going to take a quick little break because I know it's time by looking at the clock. Then we're going to come back. And then we're going to talk about storytelling. And then you're going to do your story. All right. So you can be thinking about that while you're at the next break. But don't think too hard because it's going to change anyway. All right. So we're going to do a summary. Now, the summary is simply the title transition. So, in other words, and we're going to put that with the story. So, we've got our first three. So, now we say something like, again, it's a transition. So, we just said, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can speak up and get clients and have a never-ending flow of clients. But before I do that, or before I share with you how you can get all the clients you could possibly handle, would it be okay if I just shared a little bit about how I became the master speaker trainer? Right? And then I'm nodding. So it's a transition. So you paraphrase your title, but what you're doing is like dangling the carrot. Before I share with you how you can live that potential life, or before I share with you how you can be debt free, would it be okay if I just said a little bit about, how I became the financial expert that I am today? So it's starting to build you that credibility, but you're like getting permission to do it by dangling the carrot. Some people, they say they don't like getting permission. I advocate get permission from your audience because you're in rapport. If you were in the middle, you don't have to worry about it. But we're not in the middle yet. We're in rapport. And in the middle, you can add more of your story without asking permission. You're just going to say it, right? So this particular story that we are going to talk about now is the story that earns you the right to be speaking about what you're speaking about. You've already shared it this morning, right? What gives you credibility? Karen, you're a nurse. You've been there. You're still there. You've experienced burnout. You got better. You went to burnout again and got better. You're living your potential life. You still want to be a nurse, but there's more to you. So whatever it is, you're there. People love rags to riches, right? They love, you made a ton of money and then lost it all. They love that you were deep in debt and now you're out, right? My story, I was a lousy speaker. Thought I could get away without training because I could talk, wasn't afraid to talk, failed miserably, had to get trained. So it's that kind of thing. Now, this story is not a lengthy story. It is only 3, no more than 5 minutes, period. Anything more that you need to put in there, we put in the middle or in the meat. If there's something you just have to add. It is not, I was born and now I'm 50 today kind of story, right? It's not everything in your life. It only has to do with what you're doing now, right? It just has to do with what you're doing now. And of course, we want you to build your credentials in there, right? Alice is a recovering attorney, right? But whatever earns you the right and gets the respect that you need to get the clients and the audience to listen to you. All right. Now, reason why stories are so important is because they open the hearts of our listeners. Once you say, could I tell you a little bit about my background? All of a sudden, the audience's resistance, which is you're not going to sell me, goes from here to here. And they go, story. I get to learn more about her. And they relax and their hearts are open. But when they're like this, nobody's going to get through their heart. Most of the time, they're like this. You're not going to sell me anything. I'm not going to fall for that. So we want to open their hearts and get them to open up. Stories move people emotionally, even a story about ourselves. They suspend time. They paint a vivid picture. They're easy to share, easy to say because it's our story. They build rapport, right? So there's so many reasons why we want to share our story, and we want to share it right here in the beginning so that people can get to know us. So down below on 14, there's many different kinds of stories: your professional story, client story, third-party endorsement stories, emotional stories, stories with a lesson, and or you can borrow other people's stories. But this particular story is your professional story. I used to call it personal story. And then years ago, I had a client who said, I don't want to tell anybody my personal business. So I thought, we don't want to hear it. But, but it's only meant to earn you the right to be doing what you're doing, is to give you that credibility, that authority piece. So if there's something in your background that has to be said to build that credibility, then we say it. But most of the stuff we don't. So let me give you some examples. So, and we have to be careful. We want to share our story without hurting anybody else, because people can't unhear it. So we have to be very, very careful in what we share throughout our speech. So what I mean by that, and I shared this in my one day, but I had a client who wanted to, who had a double mastectomy, right? And so when you think of a woman with a double mastectomy, what do you think of? Right? Maybe not something that you want to going around in a business, whether it's men and women and whatever, an image that you want of yourself. So it's okay to say you had breast cancer twice, or you recovering from breast cancer twice, but maybe we don't take it as far as the operation. Does that make sense? Okay, I had another client who, when she was younger, she was in jail. She was a jailbird. And that was when you were young. We've all done silly, crazy stuff when we're young. Is that really something that's necessary for you to share? No, then don't share. So you're not lying by leaving things out, right? You only have 3 to 5 minutes. You're not going to tell your whole life story. This is not the 12-step program, and it is not a place to heal. We have to heal out there and only share what's really important here. All right, does that make sense? Now, if you're, if you are in a business situation talking about your business, that might be one story. So we might have multiple stories. If you are an orphan, let's say you were adopted, and you want to speak to other children that are adopted, then you would share your adopted story or whatever happened. Or if you're a woman that was abused in a marriage, well, you're not going to say it in a business situation, but if you had a different speech, or you're trying to help other women and you go to speak to women's shelters, then you could share that part of the story. Does that make sense? So the story always has to be relevant to what it is that we're trying to achieve with the audience that we're speaking to. So if it's a business audience, we stick to business. If it's something else, then there might be some more personal elements to the story. Is that clear? Crystal?
Crystal.
Okay, good. Just want to give you some leeway, because a lot of times I see people, and I've even seen them on stage, and this one girl was sharing that she was in a marriage and was abused, but her topic was not that. Her topic was all about getting sponsors. So I remember some guy in the audience going, well, guys get abused too, and it's like, wow, that's interesting that he got a little defensive. I'm thinking in my head, right? But that's the reaction that you can get if it's the wrong story for the wrong group, right? Because they weren't there for that. Her story needed to be all about how she got into the business of getting sponsors. Got it? Is that clear? Okay, probably enough said. You all got it. All right, so when we do our story, you've got a guideline here, and we always want to start our story with a time and a place. How do all folk tales begin?
Once upon a time, a long time ago.
That's right. Once upon a time, in a village far, far away, right? There was a prince. So that's how we start, because that's how people are used to hearing stories. From the time they were little, right, until they're big, reading to their own children and grandchildren. And so they snuggle in when they hear that time and a place. And it just has to be general. You don't have to say 1981. I just say back in the 80s, I was in corporate America. I don't have to say it was downtown LA. Everybody has their own picture of corporate America and their own skyline and all of that, right? Alice might be thinking of New York, and Ardina thinks of downtown LA. So they're different, but the same. Corporate America is corporate America. So just so you know, you don't have to be dead on it. It was July 9th, 1981 at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we don't have to be that exact. Time and a place. And then we have a story grabber of some kind, not just something to grab their attention. I woke up from a dead asleep, that kind of thing, just something. Okay, then build your characters. In my story, who's the character? I'm the character. My boss was a character because my boss came and tell me to go out and speak. So I'm building character. How am I building? He was my boss. He said, go out and speak because we're offering this new service. right? I thought because I took one speech class, I was good to go. I knew everything. That's me building my character, right? So I went out and spoke. I didn't get any clients. What's my desire? My desire was to get clients and keep my job. Remember I said I knew something was wrong, and if I didn't fix it, I could lose this cushy job I had. My desire was to keep my job, right? I don't have to say it. My desire is to keep my job. I just said, you know, I didn't get any clients, and I knew in my heart that if I didn't get some clients soon, I could lose this cushy job. All right, next step, create the one day. Then one day, what happened? Boom, one day that woman came up to me. That's my one day. What do I say? One day, just like that. Everybody go like that. You think I've done that more than once? I do it every single time. This woman came up to me and she said, boom, right? That's my one day. Your one day is when everything shifted. So you're going along, and all of a sudden, boom, and you go a different direction. And that's when you got on the path to do what you're doing now. We've already heard this from every single one of you, right? Beth was in nursing. She loved nursing, and she saw about health. And then, you know, she, you know, retired, but people still were unhealthy. She kept saying people are unhealthy. They're not doing the right choices, right? That was her discovery. That's her one day. And then she decided she was going to do something about it. She started looking into holistic. Then she found this product and that product, right? And she started representing them because she saw that they made significant changes in people's health. Right? Easy. It's very simple, right? Now, opposition. Some of you are going to have opposition. Some of you aren't going to have opposition, right? So my opposition, the woman came up to me. She said that I said, okay, I decided I was going to get trained, right? And then the better I got. So she was the opposition, but at the same time wasn't the training. I didn't really want to get trained, or I would have done it first, right? How many of you want to work out? We know we need to, but do we want to? They don't call it a fun out. When they call it a fun out, I'm there, right? They call it a workout. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. But I know I have to do it, so there's some opposition there. Same with this training. I didn't really want to die. I went to the library, checked that. So what, if any, is there opposition? What's keeping you from just embracing it? What did you have to overcome in order to do it? If it's health, maybe you had to overcome your own health challenges yourself. And then, of course, the resolution. The better I got, the better my clients got. Then I left corporate America, boom, started my own company. That resolved everything, right? So do the best you can with this. You're going to do this. I'm going to give you a little longer break so you can rest, have a break, and then work on your story. So are there any questions? Remember, your story is relevant to what you're doing now. You've got many stories within you. But the one we're working on right now is for the speech and what earns you the right to be speaking about your topic. So are there any questions? Yes, Jeanette. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you, Cheryl. And then Cheryl.
So this is 3 to 5 minutes, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, great.
All right, Cheryl.
So I'm just wondering, would there be is this where would I bring anything in about my daughter at this point, or?
Does your daughter's autism have anything to do with what you're doing now? Then you bring it in, right? Because maybe you would, and I was going to say that we can tie anything in that you want to bring in. So maybe that's why you work from home. Maybe that's why you became a coach. So you could work from home, right? So you could be with your daughter, right? Okay. So yes, we can, whatever's relevant that you want to bring in, we bring in and we tie it in. Yeah.
And Arvin, no matter how long our the time they give us, whether it's 30 minutes, 60 or 90, it's always 3 to 5 minutes for our professional story.
No, it's 3 to 5 minutes and a 30-minute talk. All right, so if we look at the talk, 30 minutes, we cut it into a fourth, a fourth, a fourth, and a fourth. So the first fourth is 7.5 minutes for all 4 steps plus the story, which is about a 5-minute story. The meat is 2/4. So that's 15 minutes. And then the close is 7.5 minutes. Again, give or take a few minutes. But you want to make sure you have room for the close without having to hurry, because people can sense if you're desperate and the clock is going and you're going, and then they're repelled automatically. And we all make that mistake. I made a mistake yesterday when I did that speech. The guy told me, here's what he told me, right? And he's absolutely right. Because remember, it was last minute, so I didn't get to practice, although it was my signature talk, but he told me I had 40 minutes. So I built more things into my talk than in my 30-minute talk. So this is what he said to me. Okay, and I love this man. He's incredible. So he said, made me laugh. He said, because I was going to sell. And when you sell on somebody else's stage, you typically give them 50%, right? So he asked me, he said, did you make any sales today? And I said, no sales, 0 zip. And he said, that's crazy. You did such a great job. And I said, thank you, but I rushed the close. I knew, because he told me I had 5 minutes. I had 5 minutes, so I know I rushed the close. In a 30, 40-minute talk, and I only had 5 minutes? You betcha I did. And he said, yep, overgave. I want you to write that down. I call it over-deliver, but there's a difference between over-delivering and over-giving. If you give too much, nobody has to sign up for the next thing. And I have that problem.
I already see that as my problem. I want to give them everything.
Because you're a high nurturer. Right. And so we all have to be careful. So sometimes I'm better at it and sometimes I'm not. Okay, then he said, yep, overgave. You could have done the giving in 20 minutes. Right? And I did it in what? 35. And then I said, yes, I just get so into it. Right? I get on that soapbox, I get so into it. He goes, I know you are always brilliant. And I went, ha, 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 thank you. And then he said, you are such a bright light. Maybe you blinded them. Think about it. Oh, it just made me crack up. Maybe you blinded them. Oh, goodness sakes. So we want to make sure that we give without over giving, without over teaching. And again, we want to give, but leave something for them to buy. Okay?
How do you do that though? Because I have a tendency to do the same thing. I just want to share. I'm excited. I want to share what I know. And I've had more than a couple of people tell me, you could have charged for that.
Right. Well, I would say in the beginning, don't worry about it. Just give all you can. And then later on, when you're established, pull yourself back, because I'd rather give than not give, because I've been to speeches where I look at my notes and there's nothing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing tangible, how-tos. So I recommend give the benefits and not the how-to.
Okay.
So give all the W's, the what, when, where, why, but not the how, no H's. They have to come to you for the hows. So that's one way that you can prevent it.
That is so good, Arby.
Okay.
That is so good.
I like that.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you admire people that leave something there for you to go after? It's like, I gotta go.
Right on. You gotta get the how.
Yeah, people who give you enough information, you get excited, you know you can use it, but you know there's more to it.
Lots
And you
more.
want
And
that,
want
you
a
want that
lot more.
additional.
Like, yeah, that's so good, because like I always hear other coaches like give value, but they don't really break it down. Like which one's value? Like now you mentioned like the how is the bigger value. We could give them the W's, but not the H.
That's right, because there's value in knowing the benefits and the why people need to do something, why they need to pay attention to their health, why they need to pay attention to their money, the benefits of paying, because people buy benefits. So that's why you can give the whys and the whats and the benefits, you know, without getting the hows, because, you know, if they knew how to get out of debt, they'd do it themselves so they wouldn't be in debt already. So they need you to do that. If they knew how to stay healthy, right? And if they're healthy, the benefits of being more healthy. You know, I saw a picture literally this morning on Facebook, and it showed like a 90-year-old woman, a regular grandma that we all picture in our mind, with a cane. And then he showed another woman with muscles that was 90. The difference is the muscle woman worked out every day, and the other little old lady did not. Right? So, I mean, I looked at that and I went, holy crap, right? Because I've worked out almost all my life, but it's been a challenge. It's never something I go, woo, 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 right? It's always a chore for me. And I'm just being transparent. You know, I work out with a trainer twice a week, but I stopped in January because of Michael, and I haven't been back, and it's really hard for me to get back there, right? But now I saw that picture and I'm like, ooh, you know, which one do I want to be?
You know, I think about what you did to get us here today. That's what I think of. And I think the wording you used that caught my attention was that I'm going to share things that no one else is going to tell you. And you are not going to hear them from me anyplace else.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, I perked right up and went, I do want to be there. I need it. I've been speaking for years and I still don't get it. So how can I create that? That's what I need to do.
Because me too, like I had to call in sick today because I asked Arby, like, Arby, when are the next class, Karen? I really don't know. That's what she said. And I'm like, holy crap, let me call in sick.
Yeah. And have you already learned things that you haven't learned from anybody else?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good, good. All right, so let's continue. Thanks for letting me banter a little bit about stories. So we are going to do that. So we're going to take a break. It is 3:30. We are going to take, and what I want you to do is just jot, I don't want you to write your story full blown. You're just going to kind of jot some ideas on here. Who are the characters? You, and maybe your boss, maybe somebody else. Just memory jog, right? So I just want you to think about it. When we come back, I'm going to break into groups, and you're going to share your story for the first time. For some of you, it's the first time, just to practice it. Then you're each going to do that, and then you're coming back to the big room, and then you're going to share the story with everybody. Got it? And then you're going to get coaching from me. Sound good? So that's where we're headed. All right. So it cuts off time if you do, you know, kind of just at least verbalize it once to somebody else beforehand. So that's why we're going to do that. So we're just going to take a brief break. How about will 15 minutes altogether be enough just for a little break and for you to think about the story, not really develop it, but think about it? Is that enough? 15 minutes? Okay, so let's say 15 minutes is so 3:50 on the dot. Will that work for everybody? Okay, perfect.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, go get yourself some snacks also. Keep your energy up. All right, your afternoon snack or your evening. Remember, Alice is later. It's her 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30 Alice's time.
Mine too.
Your time too, that's right,
Yep.
Michelle. And then it's an hour later for Beth.
Mhm.
All right, so 10 till. I'm gonna stop the recording here, pause it.